Hey, YouTube viewers, welcome back. Lionshead update. If any of you have been following along or paying attention, just more aware and able to pull this software up yourself. If you saw today, you saw some red. That red showing up just like yesterday. That super red showed up. Uh, this more recent red with the satellites from this afternoon. Just connecting the dots. Just making the picture as big as we can so that there's still room to color between, is the main goal. We don't want anybody going outside the lines. This is going to be interesting. I'd like to see a little bit more about this area. Let me pull this off. That's that was red. Midday, a couple hours. You know, again, maybe using 4690 here as a nice break. I think this weather has just, quite honestly, probably not couldn't have been better. I mean, I know that sounds like, feels like they had to go probably a mile further than they wanted to, but they knew that in order to contain it, like that would be the most important thing. So at least that's how I'm interpreting the attempts to contain it, the jump overnight, along with the the Badger Butte and then Mill Creek drainage push that they saw. A lot of heat, a lot of collective heat, jumped the power line, and they're just like, you know what? Let's just build this bomber line back here and keep it 200 feet away from anything that's going to grow, just in case. Now, all right, we got that in place. They're not going anywhere. We got to put this thing out, right? I mean, we don't want to let it all burn, but in order to make it safer, sometimes we have to take more of it. So that now they can get in there with water tenders and actually attack some of these really hot areas. This is such a huge mass that was moving down, and I couldn't believe some of those temperatures that we were reading in this area. It's still hot. It's still amazing. I can't believe that for like 5 days now, this area has been producing so much energy just repeatedly. It only just now stopped within the last probably 12 hours. This area right here, on the southeast side of Lolly Butte. Um, and so that the contours just allowed it to kind of push down. It jumps the power line that is on the ridge here. And you can see that once it jumps that power line, it's like a big back to work. Um, at least I'm sure that's somewhat how they felt because, you know, unpredictable thing. Think you're building the front, you're making it happen, you're getting good weather, and then woof, it just blows up on you. So fire is so dangerous. I mean, I'm still interested to see like how they're building this out right here because the reality is that this is gonna be a 6 week, 8 week thing. And we've got 6 or more 8 weeks, then this Lamiti Butte Fire Camp, we might as well pave a few of these roads. I'm sorry to say, but we might as well build something up there because there already pretty much is. I mean, if you're feeding 1,000 people, there's tents and mess halls and everybody's probably got their own little tents that they're using within their units. But it's interesting if I don't know if anybody's been following. Oh, this is on Open Chain. Wasn't on the right one to start with, but if you're on InstaWeb and you're paying attention to any of this stuff, you know that like every 12, 24, 36 hours, there's somewhat of an update. Uh, and sometimes we don't know what's that like. Look, this is from yesterday at 10 a.m. It is now 4:40 p.m. They're up there working. They're not really worried about making sure that InstaWeb is completely defined. They're using the crews that they can to try to control what they have, along with build out some of those huge perimeters that can pretty much guarantee a fire hold. So, yeah, they built the camp up there. There's gonna be a lot of work. Wouldn't surprise me if that camp eventually, I mean, tomorrow, next year, 10 years from now, maybe, but that ends up being like more of a an area up there, like a facility, because they're going to need a place. It's quite convenient, if you ask me, right up the top of the Clack, right at the top of the Brighton Bush. There's going to be a lot more activity to and from Timothy Lake. Probably going to be an area that they're going to build out some facilities for the Forest Service if they're going to. Technically they won't be able to in the CC Butte area, but like, what are you going to do? I mean, there's be a parking lot. There'll be a little thing there. There already is to some degree, just down the hill. But um, anyway, update for the Lionshead. I think everything else on the other end's pretty good, other than the fact that I don't really see the smoke going anywhere for anyone that's hoping so. Yeah, it might blow here and there a little bit, but 5 degrees, or I mean, excuse me, 5 mile per hour, maybe different directions. The existing smoke is gonna hold in all of the air that's going to burn off, that's going to create a little bit more wind. So it's going to be later in the day. It's going to be probably less windy until that front pushes through, which depends on what model you're looking at. But I don't know, like anything meaningful Friday. And it depends on where you're looking. Everything else kind of looks like it's maybe staying off the coast or staying a little up. So, and hopefully that again does not come with thunderstorms. So, anyway, go on InstaWeb. I like this spot right here. You click on photographs, or you can click on videos, but photographs are cool. There's 104 photographs, and you can see it's like preparations for burnout operations 2 days ago, right? That's about when we were talking. This looked like an opportunity to gain an edge by uh, setting a perimeter, and that was when this was updated. Okay, the picture was taken on 9/9, so 4 days before that. So that's the type of dated information. This was early on. This was a 160 road early on. Uh, you know, for a containment line. And then you go through and you can see some pretty amazing shots. But uh, Lakeview hot shots. It's our people. I mean, our people collectively, like Pacific Northwest people who live in these communities, who are helping out everywhere they can. There's two fires closer to Lakeview right now than is what is going on up there, but they're needed up there. So thank you again to those firefighters that are out there and everyone else who's supporting them, especially up at that camp. Feel good sleeping tonight. Hopefully that we see some of those definitive burn back lines that we know are like double backup. So